Alright, welcome boys and girls. Welcome to the second episode of the Hanoian podcast. And after the first episode where I interviewed Hafong, my friend, I have another friend here with me. She is 1 year my senior and we went to high school together. Your name is?
So people call me Angie, and I am currently a second year marketing student in British University, Vietnam.
Okay, marketing student BUV. And for some of you guys who don't know, what is BUV?
So our school is an international university, which our degree will be Staffordshire University in England.
From England. Okay, so very cool. Is there anything more about you that that might be interesting or interest the viewers? How old are you?
Okay. I am 19 years old, becoming 20 this year.
Okay, soon.
I define myself as a spontaneous person somehow because I really didn't think when I make decisions.
Okay, very spontaneous person. You're into zodiacs and all that, yeah?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay, sometimes. Okay. So, starting off the interview, we're just going to start off through a timeline. So, when you were born, where were you born and what are your first memories from your childhood?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I was born in Vietnam, in my hometown, Thanh Hóa, and I have my childhood there. I went to kindergarten there. I lived with my grandma at the time because my mom were on field trips and stuff. She got stuff to do. I really didn't have much time with my parents at that time. But until I was 6, I come to Hanoi and I study here. That is when my family moved in together as a whole, and that was some of the good memories I had since I was a kid. But I didn't really have much time when I was small with my mom.
Wow, that must be really tough, eh? So, do you have any memories of Thanh Hóa when you were a child, or was it mostly just Hanoi?
I had a memory when I go to kindergarten. I had a few friends there, and we live in a really close neighborhood. So we would hang out once in a while, or even every afternoon after school. And my grandma would come and pick me home at that time.
Cool. So now you're 6 years old. You moved to Hanoi. Your whole family moved there, yeah? So your mom had to change her job, or did she continue with the job that she was previously doing?
She was a really an overachiever, so she did work different jobs at a time to gain more extra to support me and my family. She was literally the breadwinner of the family.
Oh, okay. So you, from a young age, before you were 6, you were separated from your mom a lot, right? She was going to work a lot. Did it really have an effect on your relationship, or was it just okay?
It was fine, but I don't really consider myself that I have mommy issue, but I think I do have daddy issue though.
Oh, okay.
Because my dad he was close when I was little, but he drifted apart as I grew up, and I didn't really talk to him much and he wasn't around. So that caused me I lost. It's I lost another person in the family, but he wasn't there.
Okay, so it's starting to get a bit personal, but is there a certain reason why your dad left, or he just wanted to leave and I guess separate from the family? Yeah.
I didn't want to talk much about my dad here, but he wasn't really supporting the family. It's mostly my mom, so he's kind of an introvert in the house.
Okay. So your mom must be a really strong person then, yeah, to basically raise you up by herself and make all the money for the family. Okay. So that was when you were 6. So basically primary school in Hanoi. Where did you study?
I studied in Liquidon until 4th grade, and I moved to Laos with my mom because she had a job around 3 years in there, so I just come along and study in international school there. So that is when my life got a little bit harder, but I was okay with it.
So from 6 years old to 9 years old, you were in Laos, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's where I assume, I guess, you learned a lot of your English. That's how you got so good at English, I guess?
Of course, because I was put in that environment. That caused like not caused me, but like that forced me to study English to get like to fit in and to study also. I didn't really like I couldn't really understand people at first, but as times go on and I start to get familiar with the environment and behave better.
Now, something that I personally experienced when I went overseas is I felt that there was a little bit of discrimination, I guess, when everybody else is basically from their home country and you're from a different country. Did you ever feel that between you and your Laos friends, or?
I did get drift apart because I don't know why, but they start to put being racist with Vietnamese people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but as I observed, because they are from their home country and they are studying in an international school, so they're mostly like middle to high income families, so they tend to look down on people somehow.
Okay, so that is very, very mean. And how did 7, 8-year-old you cope with that? Did you just brush it off, or did it really affect you in general?
Because I was a kid and I didn't really care much until afterwards I realized that. But so I just cope with some friends that really appreciates me. That's all.
Okay.
Just ignore the haters.
Okay, ignore the haters. I guess that's been like your slogan for life until now.
Yep.
Ignore a lot of the haters. Okay. So that was Laos. Did any of the memories really stick out in Laos? Like, what was your best memories in Laos?
Because at that time when I was there, it was around 2011, 12 something. So the country didn't develop much, so it was very peaceful. And I go to fitness center a lot with my mom and families. We even went swimming and stuff. So that was a really like nice memory to remember. It's not special, not much, but it was a fun time.
Okay. So after 3 years in Laos, you went back to Vietnam. Did you have? Okay, so you were coming back and you were in middle school by the time you went back. Yeah. Did you have any problems fitting in when you were in middle school? Because personally, I had some problems as well because it had been a long time since I've talked to Vietnamese people. After 3 years.
You should experience that because when I first came back to Vietnam, it's weird when people are all speaking Vietnamese.
Yeah, it feels weird. Yeah,
you're right.
Your ears are just not used to it. It's so weird.
Yeah, so at that time I was getting a little like uncomfortable at some point, but I get along with people, but not with education. Because I study from a different country and a different program. When I came back, I have a hard time. So my mom had to get me tutors and other teachers to help me, so I could like move in with the right age.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I struggled personally with that too. Like when literature. Yeah, when you first moved back, they asked you to write paragraphs, and I just couldn't write at all. It was such a struggle for me.
I couldn't write at all. At that time, teacher gave me homework and they like to describe some person around you or in your family. She gave me a really bad grade at that time, like really bad. Really bad grade.
And you were just a kid, and you didn't even know what you did wrong.
Yeah, that's right. And I bring that back, give it to my mom, and my mom was like not really bashing the teacher, but she didn't really appreciate the way the teacher looked to me because I was weak in Vietnamese, and she just posted on and just like ease me down to comfort me that I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, seems like a good mother then. Yeah. Okay, so how long did you actually, how long did it take you to basically, I guess, integrate back into Vietnamese culture? Like, when did you start feeling comfortable, I guess, staying in Vietnam again, like studying in Vietnam?
That took me around 1 or 2 years since I came back. And as my education got better and I talk better, but sometimes I still speak like half Vietnamese, half English, even now. But life got easier as I grow up because I can fit in more. As I said, I'm a spontaneous person.
Okay, very spontaneous. I got you. So are you still keeping contact with any of your middle school friends until now, or?
Not exactly, because at that time I was a hard kid to deal with, and I didn't really get much of its attention. But after I got to high school and university, I start to work in more extra activities and start to like meet more people, talk to more people, and that's how I got like better at like conversation and interaction around.
Okay, good stuff. So basically, that was your middle school, and now the big turn comes. You came to high school, and if you guys didn't know, we went to the same high school as each other, Lomonosov High School. And the reason why I came into the school is because basically it was a private school, and it was basically the only option I got left when I came back to Japan. But for you, what made you choose the school?
Oh, as I said, I was back in Vietnam in middle school, and that was Lomo. That was Lomo.
Oh, that was Lomonosov already.
Yeah.
In middle school, okay.
Yeah. So basically, I just jump up from the middle school to high school.
Okay. So for you guys, some of you guys who don't know, Lomonosov is both a middle school and a high school. It's divided into two sectors, and if you studied middle school in Lomonosov, you're basically guaranteed a place in the high school. Yeah. Okay, continue.
So as in high school, I start to get more attention around, and that's when I joined the honor roll receptionist team in school, and that is where I put this guy into. Yep,
that is where we basically met. Yep, for the first time. I was in 10th year and you were in 11th?
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
sure. Yeah.
So I was the team captain at that time, so I just picked people to get in to represent.
It's basically a team where good-looking people join in together. That's basically the purpose of the whole team.
That's one factor.
That's one factor, huh? Okay. So high school rolls around, and this is this time where I talk to a lot of people where they start getting themselves into relationships. Now, did you get yourself into any relationships?
Do you mean romance?
Yes, of course, romance.
Okay, I did. I did change around 2 to 3 boyfriends at that time.
2 to 3 guys. Ugh, okay. Keep going.
But it was like students in high school, so it really didn't put a big impact on me that much. We were students. We just like lovebirds, high school sweethearts, and spending time there. And when I didn't feel like I would left. I basically left.
Okay. Because like when I talk to a lot of other of my guy friends or just my friends in general, a lot of their high school sweethearts or I guess high school romances left a change on their mental, I guess just the way they think about romance in general. Has it left any I guess effects on you? Your high school romances or? No?
As I said, we was like kids and students, so I just enjoy the time. If it's happy, I will stay, and if it's not right, I will leave.
Okay, so that is a very positive mindset. I highly rate that because even I myself am a victim to I guess mentally breaking down from high school romances, as some of you guys may have known. But yeah, any other high school I guess memories do you have? Like anything that stands out?
The big thing stand out is the friendship drama.
Oh, the friendship drama. I was just about getting to that. So, if you're not comfortable, we're not going to go deeply into what happened. But basically, there's just a lot of friends that you thought were friends.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And we can't get along. We keep fighting and fighting until it was too hard to deal with. So I just got out of it. I got out and I never talked. I never even mentioned it. It's okay, they can hate me, but I won't bother.
So what do you think was the root of those things happening? Was it just I guess a personality conflict, or was it something, an event that happened?
In my opinion, it was around jealousy.
Jealousy, okay. High school, huh?
If you got attention, you get people will be jealous of that, and they will keep bashing on you to get the people that give you attention think bad of you.
Okay. Wow, that is very eye-opening. So how did you actually deal with that kind of I guess, relationship dynamic kind of thing, because you and your friends are all in the same classroom. You study like 6 hours a day together. And you have to see each other's faces every day. How do you deal with that? Because it has to affect you, right?
It does affect me because all the things they said about me are mostly rumors. And if people know me, they will know. So I don't really explain much from it, because if I didn't do that, I don't have to be sorry about that.
Good. It's a very good mental attitude to go about things.
Yeah.
Okay. So, studies-wise, how did you do in high school? Because I didn't do great. I saw your notebooks. Like, you are a very organized person. You keep things very clean. So that is definitely something that I really respect.
Well, I am an artistic person, so I do organize my notes good. But the only thing good here is English and some of others subjects that I need to remember. I have good memory, so that was fine.
And I don't remember if in high school you ever took an IELTS test. Did you take an IELTS test?
I did. I did. My IELTS was at school.
How many did you score exactly?
I did my IELTS 2 times. The first time I got 6, and the next time I got a 7. 7.
Okay, great. So 7 is actually a very impressive score. So I just want to dive a little bit into that IELTS score a little bit more, because this is a podcast where we're Vietnamese people who are pretty good at English.
Okay.
So a lot of other people who are Vietnamese is going to look up to us. So how exactly did you, I guess, study for IELTS? Let's talk about the first time around when you get 6.0. What happened?
The first time I didn't study much for it, because I want to test myself where I'm at the moment. Then from that I will develop up. So at that time, because since a little kid, me and my family, we speak in 2 different languages, English and Vietnamese. So basically, I am a bilingual since I was a little kid. Yeah. So my English start from there. And since I attend international school and also private school, the English teachers and friends that I had really support me in my studying journey. So that is how I got into English.
So exactly what year or what age did you do your first IELTS test at? When you got the 6.0?
The 6.0 is when I was in grade 10.
And when was the 7.0?
The 7th is in grade 12, where I took so I got the result to apply to my university.
So you took a 2-year gap, and between those 2 years, did you really, I guess, go to a center to study, or did you just, study by yourself?
Yeah, I did go to a center where, not exactly as I didn't really practice much at the center. Teacher just give you work and you just do it, and they will mark it to see how you're doing. But the thing I do most is I practice at home, and I
crucial.
Yeah, start to read more and more. My writing and my reading wasn't that strong. The only thing I'm good at is listening and speaking. So because I consider myself as a confident person, so and I'm a good listener, and that's my 2 crucial skills.
Okay, so you did really good your second time around. What advice do you have for the people who are going to take the IELTS test for the first time? Like maybe they're a bit, not very confident about it. They're a bit shaky about it. You study a lot for it. So what kind of advice would you, give them?
Yeah, that's the problem, because when you study a lot, you will get mixed up in different parts.
Exactly.
And you'll get nervous when the time comes. So basically, you just need to be confident, of course. Just believe in yourself and try to do the best that you can. Don't be afraid.
Okay. Now, a really interesting topic that I like to ask my guests is, what is your view on English? Because personally to me, a lot of parents these days, they want their kids to study English just because they want them to have good English grades and know English. Rather, I want my child, if it was my child, I would want them to really embrace the culture and learn more about English, listen to English every day, maybe just watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So what's your view on English? Which side do you take?
Well, I'm on your side this time, because English is now a part of our world, because it's the international language. You can use it anywhere. And because learning a new language can be hard, but don't put it as a grade. Just you have to understand the language in order to like use the language.
So how much has English actually like changed your life, changed your personality in overall? Has it had a great effect, or not that big?
To me, it's a great effect because I travel a lot, so that's why English is a important part in your life to like use. And mostly I will use English in my daily talking too, because sometimes I can't even explain it in Vietnamese, but English is more close.
Definitely, very good, very good. So we have the same view on English. That's very good because most of the guests that I've had on here agree with me. Like English is definitely not just a tool. Okay, so going back to you, you're now done with high school. Everything's good and done. You've done your IELTS test for 7.0. And what made you, I guess, decide to go to British University in Vietnam, BUV?
To be exact, I was aiming for RMIT, and I want to study digital marketing there. But at that time, it's also an English problem here because RMIT has their aim as 6.5 and no skill under 6. I was a little skeptical about my result, so I changed it to BUV, which is a 0.5 band lower, which is 6.0. So I just applied there, and they have a similar program, even though BUV has a shorter program. But so yeah, I just applied there. And one more thing, they have the best campus in the north.
Ooh, definitely, I've seen the campus. It's amazing. Football pitches, basketball pitches. Yeah. They got a huge diamond in the middle of nowhere as well, which is really, really nice. So you're in your second year of BUV now. You're studying marketing.
Yep.
Is that a major that you really wanted to pursue, or was it something that you just, I guess, selected? Because the thing for me is I study marketing too, and I just randomly selected it. I didn't really have a plan in mind, I guess.
Because I used to want to study art, but I don't see it's not practical to use in Vietnam because it's kind of a major where people need to be really good to get good wages and recognition. But for marketing, you can study a part of it, or you can also collaborate the art in marketing too. So that's a good point, and you can literally sit anywhere in every company. People will need you.
Very true. And that's something that I've also found out about marketing since I've studied about half a year of it now. It's really practical, and basically every company needs a marketing branch. So there's a lot of job opportunities. And yeah, you're in your second year of BUV now. You've made a lot of friends. How have you enjoyed your time at BUV? What review of the whole school would you give?
Well, this is the best time of my life, to be exact. I really don't want to put a really good compliment or too much compliment here, but we have a 3 years of study. But wait, 3 months of studying and 3 months off. A semester break. So at that time we can go to take internships and learn new skills or even a new language. Just use make a good use of that time.
Very, very good, very interesting. Okay.
Why do I sound like I'm advertising for my school here?
Hey, it's good, just freestyle it. It's a podcast. So you've made a lot of good friends in BUV, huh? So how's that been going? Friendships, is it better than high school?
So far so good.
So far so good. Okay, very good. So the less drama, the better, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, also a question that I also like to ask for my guests is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Marriage, a family, traveling, still studying, or doing a job? 10 years.
5 or 10 years. Definitely, I'm not a early marriage person, so I would put that aside. So maybe I would take a gap year and travel around if I have the ability to. This will depend on my financial status also. But if I have the chance, I would go around and see the world for a bit and choose what I really want in life.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, good answer. So, do you have any other topics that you would like to talk about? Or are you good?
Maybe I'm good here.
Okay, maybe good. Okay, so this has been the second episode of the Hanoian podcast, guys. Angie here, Angie Trinh. That's the name of the podcast. It's great to have interviewed you here.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next time for the next podcast in the next week, guys. See ya.